Hello all, and welcome to Explained with Dylan. A piece of the sun has broken off and formed a solar vortex, which is now rotating around the sun itself. I am Explained with Dylan, which means I like to be able to explain things. I like to have an answer for something and then be able to explain it to you guys. But no one has any idea why the heck this is happening. No one has ever seen this before. It's a piece of the sun has broken off, not a substantial enough piece to cause us any damage or anything, but it's now rotating around the northern hemisphere of the sun. This will not cause any issues for us. There's no problem. It's just absolutely confusing of why part of the sun would break off and then rotate around the sun. Well, we know why it would rotate around the sun, because the sun's gravitational pull, that part. But we don't know why a piece of the sun broke off in the first place. Every 11 years or so, then the sun goes through a process where it basically just goes all wacky and haywire. That is because its magnetic fields are reversing. It's a weird and complicated process, which we don't exactly know why it happens, and it does happen to all the other planets. It happened to Earth about 780,000 years ago, and will likely happen in the next 2,000 years, scientists predict. But anyways, back to the sun. This happens every 11 or so years for the sun. I don't know why I just don't round down to 10, but everyone else says 11. So every 11 or so years, then the sun's North Pole and South Pole switch. It's not like the sun itself is rotating, but the geomagnetic North and South Poles are switching places, which causes quite a bit of activity within the sun itself, which is likely the cause of this. Every day, the sun has been releasing flares, including multiple X-class flares, which is the largest type of solar flare. That could cause some problems if it were to hit Earth. Now, Earth's electromagnetic field would protect us from all getting killed with radiation, but it would still disrupt quite a bit, including basically every power grid on the planet, or if it was a weaker flare, such as an M-class flare, which is the second largest, then it would disrupt all the power grid of what portion of the planet it hits, which would not be good. Everyone uses power. There is so much power, but it would likely surge and then all just go out. It would take quite a bit of money and a bit of time to get all the electricity going again. Just think of how much electricity you use and what you would do without it for multiple days, maybe even weeks. I mean, in this room right now, there's a light on right over there. There's a fridge plugged in for some reason. There's that massive computer I've mentioned way too many times already that's plugged in. There's a printer plugged in there. There's a fan plugged in there. This isn't my room if you're wondering. Oh, there's a phone plugged in. See, my point being, there is a lot of power being used worldwide. So without all of that, that would cause quite a few issues. You wouldn't be able to watch this video because all the Wi-Fi would be out, as well as the cellular. Which means you would not be able to watch Explained or another YouTuber that I heard about that seems so cool named Sports with Dylan. That would be a disaster. But there is no need to worry. It is highly unlikely that a solar storm of that scale would actually hit the Earth. As I mentioned, solar storms happen every 11 years, which means the majority of you watching this video have already lived through a solar storm that has hit Earth. But you wouldn't have noticed because it does nothing. As I mentioned, the Earth's electromagnetic field is pretty darn good, and it protects us from a lot. So for the most part, it can protect our power grids. If a massive scale solar storm were to happen, then we could be in a bit of trouble. But the odds of that are highly, highly unlikely, although it is still technically possible. Thanks for watching.